Taking a picture of a mirror. You would think that's a very simple thing to do. It's a stationary object. There's no movement, so you're not going to get blurred imagery. But there's some things you need to look out for when you take a picture of a mirror. I'm going to show you some examples that I just now pulled off of Facebook Marketplace of things that people seem to be doing over and over again when taking pictures of mirrors. And it is almost like they don't know how a mirror works or the science behind what a mirror is going to do when you take a picture of it. So let's get to it. So I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of pictures that I just got off of Facebook Marketplace and show you different categories. And the first two categories I'm going to show you are the ones that seem to be prominent. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who understand how a mirror works or cares about what's in the reflection, and they do a really good job. I would say probably about 30 to 40%. And some of them even stage their photographs and they look really wonderful. I'm going to show you a couple of those also. But in general, it seems like these next two that I point out to you are the ones that you're going to see most. Now I'm making up the names for these different examples of imagery. And the first one I'm going to show you is what I call hide side. And you're going to see a lot of this. You're going to see a lot of people sticking their camera from the side out in front of the mirror. I'm going to tell you again, all you got to do is take a picture on an angle and you won't be in the image. If anything directly in front of the mirror is going to reflect in the mirror. So if you don't want to be in the photograph, move over. I mean, there may be situations, it may be in a closet or something, and you can't get to the side. That's understandable. But in general, just take a picture from the side and you won't be in the image. Now, part two of hide side is what I call hide side squat, where these are one of the ones where I don't think people understand how a mirror works, or they're just really not thinking about it. This is where they squat over sideways and take the picture, and they're completely in the image. So you really didn't accomplish anything by the hide side squat. There's also one that's I'm going to refer to as the standard squat. And there seems to be a lot of these where somebody squats down in front of the mirror for some reason. Sometimes they're no head squats and they're squatted and you can't see their heads. And sometimes it's just a full frontal squat. At that point, I really just don't understand. The concept of a mirror is pretty simple. You think people would just take a couple seconds to think about it. The second one I see quite a lot is what I like to refer to as the no head. They cut their heads off and they're still in the image. So we're going to call this one no head. Besides the side squat thing or the side imagery, the no head thing is probably the second thing that I see most of when people are taking photographs of a mirror. There's another one I like to see sometimes, see not as often as the other two, but it's the hide photograph, where they try to hide from their reflection in the image. Now, once again, I don't know if the people who did this realized what they were doing, or they did, and they realized they were in the photograph. This one right here, I think she knew she was in the photograph. She's sticking her tongue out at you. So even though she did the hide thing, where she was trying to hide behind what it looks like another picture, she still knew that she was in the photograph. So she made it kind of funny. I appreciate that too. We're going to call this one feet. Or we could call it shoes or sandals, but this is one where I really think people just don't care that that part of their body is in the imagery, but they take picture with the mirror on the ground so the reflection is showing their feet. So you'll see this quite a bit too, feet. This one kind of fits into the pose category, and I'm calling this one right here gangsta. Obviously, the person realizes that they're perfectly framed in there and they're dressing like they're a gangster. I've seen this variation a bunch of different ways. I saw one the other day where the guy had his shirt off and he was standing there peacocking in front of the mirror. So, if you want to take shots like that, that's up to you. That's all about you. And obviously, if you're trying to sell something, that might not be the best way to do it. Some of them, you just got to kind of wonder if they looked at the photograph after you take it. this one right here. The house is dirty. The house is filthy, and you get to see all the garbage around the mirror that they're trying to sell. So this is a simple thing. If you are seeing something in the reflection, make sure you stage it a little bit, or turn the mirror on an angle where you're not going to see that kind of thing. I mean, who really is going to want to purchase something when it's coming from an environment that's not very clean? I wouldn't want to do it. This one I call pose, and I'm going to throw up a couple of different variations of pose. This is the one where the people realize they're standing in front of it and they vogue. They turn on a specific angle, or they have a specific look because they know they're in the image, so they want you to see them. So they're standing there and they're posing for the image that's the reflection in the mirror. So hey, they're owning it. They understand what they're doing. They see themselves in that image and they're saying, hey, it's okay. I look fine. It's okay for you to see me. People love their pets. And one thing that a lot of them take the time to do is get their pet in the photographs. So the pet may be in front of the mirror and they get that shot, or it may be walking by, or it may be on the bed behind them, and they catch an image of their pet. Completely understandable. People love their pets, and that's a great shot. That's a good staged shot when they set it up to have your pet in the photograph. Now, I've talked a couple of times about how I think at times people are just oblivious as to how a mirror works. And this is the example that is just mind-boggling to me, that someone wouldn't even think of what's going to happen when they do this. And this one is flash. I don't even know what to say. You're going to take a flash photograph of a mirror. Okay, so I got to give credit where credit is due. Some people take the time, they look at the image, they stage the image to some extent, or at least put the mirror in a position where when shooting on an angle, you're going to see something pleasant in the reflection. Great job, guys. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to promote your product and to sell your product, is by putting a little thought and taking a little time in presenting it very well. Good job. Well, thanks for watching this video. If you have any comments, put it in the comments section. Maybe we can get a dialogue about different things that you've seen. Now, I know I've seen a lot of funny things that have been posted about what's in the reflections of the mirrors, but I just took things today off of Facebook Marketplace, just things that I see over and over and over again. It only takes a couple of seconds to really get a good image, to take a good photograph. Spend the time, do it. Take a picture on an angle if at all possible, and then stage whatever in the reflection of that mirror. It just looks so much more professional. So once again, thanks for watching my video. Please like, share, or subscribe it, and I hope you have a great day.